up, weirdos? I'm Felicia and I like scary movies, and today we're reviewing a new IFC midnight film called A Banquet. This movie was written by Justin Bell and directed by Ruth Paxton. I really appreciate that we are on a female filmmaker kick on my channel right now, and weirdly enough, a kick about food in horror movies or something. Here's some plot. A widowed mother is radically tested when her teenage daughter insists a supernatural experience has left her body in service to a higher power. So heads up, I know I don't typically do trigger warnings for horror movie reviews because if you're watching a horror movie review, you're probably gonna hear about gore and blood and stuff. But in this one, you're gonna hear about eating disorders. So if you don't wanna listen to that, which I totally understand, skip this one and skip this movie. And watching the trailer for this before I even checked out the film, I kind of was like, I don't know if I should watch this because myself and many other people have experienced bad relationships with food and body image and all this kind of stuff. And so I wasn't sure if this was gonna be too much for me to watch, but then I also didn't know if it would be cathartic for me to watch. Like, I really wasn't sure. So I was like, whatever. I'm checking it out. I'm going in. And yeah, I mean, ultimately it's about this family that's lost their father. Sienna Gullery plays the mother, Holly, and then Jessica Alexander plays Betsy, the teenage daughter. And the teenage daughter in this has some sort of experience in the woods, unclear, and from that point on decides that she doesn't need to eat anymore or can't eat anymore. And the mother obviously struggles with this and struggles to understand what the daughter is going through. And so there's obviously all these themes going on of like, with teenagers, their bodies are going through a lot, body image issues, disordered eating habits, things like that, but on like a horror movie scale. Also, I just realized also the trend of mother-daughter horror movies this month. I don't know, I feel like all the movies I've been reviewing this month have had like some crossover themes, maybe. Interesting. But yeah, so they emphasize the food in this movie, of course. So the way the food is shot is like very, with its like deep, rich color palette, and things always look very like fresh and juicy and intense. And then what's interesting about Betsy, and this is like kind of a spoiler, I guess, but it's whatever. I mean, she goes seemingly an extremely long time without eating anything, and also without really wasting away. It's kind of this question that comes up similar to Saint Maud, where it's like, is the girl actually touched by a higher power, or is she going through something that many young women go through? And at some point, another character actually kind of throws that in her face in a way of like, stop trying to be interesting by having an eating disorder, which is like, once again, I told you, trigger warning on this video, which is like such an intense thing. But in this movie, you kind of have also this idea of 3 generations of women that all are approaching this issue in 3 completely different ways. So the way the grandmother sees it, the way the mother sees it, and the way Betsy sees it are all very different generationally, which I thought was an interesting way to tell the story. Now, overall, I did think this was an interesting concept, but for me, it didn't really, like, the story didn't go far enough for me. Like, by the end of the movie, I felt like not much had changed or happened since the first like 20 minutes of the movie. I'm sorry I keep comparing this to Saint Maud, but there are a lot of similarities in terms of like religious, higher power stuff and mental illness. And so by the end of Saint Maud, I definitely felt like I had this like full experience that came to the end of where it needed to be. And in this movie, I felt like at the end it was sort of disappointing. And I sort of wonder if that was intentional to not have like an eating disorder movie end in like some triumphant blaze of fire or something. I don't know. But yeah, the ending for me was just a little disappointing. But yeah, I guess overall, I just wanted the story to go more places. Like, it felt like it was at a standstill for so long, and then it just sort of ended. But yeah, that's it, people. You can rent A Banquet anywhere you rent your movies on the internet, Amazon, YouTube, wherever. There's definitely some interesting things about it, and once again, I think the concept is really cool, but it just didn't really do it for me by the end. But that's it, people. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Have a nice scream. Bye.